Hello silver friends, this is Joli from QuickSilverHair, and today is part 3 of my 3-part series on yellowing. This is my 7 silvery tips to prevent your gray hair from yellowing. If you didn't catch the first 2 videos, they will be linked below in the description box, and any products or anything that I talk about in this video will also be linked in the description box below. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and let's get started. The first step to keeping your hair its brightest and to prevent yellowing is to add clarifying to your routine. Many people don't even know what clarifying is. I have an entire post on clarifying. It will be in the description box below. Because many of us colored our hair for years, we probably didn't clarify at all, or if we did, it was only before a color service. But with gray hair, you want to add clarifying to your routine. It can be once a week, it can be once a month, it can be twice a month. It depends on what your hair needs are. So I would highly suggest you find a great clarifying shampoo that meets the needs of your hair and your environment and add that to your routine. Following clarifying is very important to deep condition. You want to maintain the moisture balance in your hair. Dry hair will become yellow faster. It will grab onto things from the environment, from water, from swimming pools, from products, and be more susceptible to yellowing because dry hair is looking for things to fill in the gaps in the cuticle. So if you add deep conditioning to your routine right after you finish your clarifying process, it will help you to maintain that moisture balance and keep your silvers their best and brightest. It also will help with frizz and shine. So deep condition after you clarify. My third tip is to use heat protection. One of the best preventative measures that you can take is to protect your hair from heat. Step 1 is to find a product that is rated up to 450 degrees. However, don't ever use a heat tool that is 450 degrees. You want to use tools that are under 365 degrees. That is the sweet spot before you start to create damage. It doesn't matter what color your hair is. Anything over 365 degrees will damage the hair, but on white hair, you will notice it more. So you want to check your heat tools, your flat iron, your curling iron, your dryer, to see how hot they're getting. If they're getting too hot and you can't control that temperature and bring it back down, it's time for new heat tools that have better technology in them that can regulate that heat. There is a simple tool that home inspectors use. It is an infrared gun that tests the temperature of anything you point it at. So that's what I use when I'm testing products for you guys. I'll put that product below so you can test your products. They aren't that expensive, and you might find that you want to use it and put it in your toolbox. Number 4 on my list is UV protection. There are many products that serve dual purpose. There are UV and heat protectants, which my favorite is from 𝐜𝐨𝐿, and that is their blowout cream. They also have a curly cream that has the same protection in it. There's also products that are UV and SPF protection. Those two things are different. You cannot use SPF protection on your hair and get the benefits of UV protection. And you cannot use UV protection on your scalp and get the benefits of SPF protection. UV filters are for the hair, SPF is for skin. So keep that in mind, and please use an SPF on your scalp because now that you have no pigment in your hair, your scalp is more vulnerable to sun damage, and the deadliest forms of melanoma are found on the scalp. So protect your scalp. But make sure you know what you're buying, and I will link my favorite products below that meet the right criteria and protect your skin, protect your hair, and so forth. If you don't want to use a product and you want to just use a hat or a buff, look for UV rated fabrics. Those will help you. I also have a whole video on sun protection, so I'll link that in the description box below and you can check that out, and I go into full detail on all of those products and all the ways you can protect yourself from the sun. Number 5 is a tip for swimmers. If you swim in a chlorinated pool, you want to go into the pool with wet hair. If you wet your hair first, it is less likely for chlorine to adhere to your hair. When you jump in and your hair is dry, the chlorine goes straight onto the hair and attaches to it. But when it's wet, it has no place to attach to because the hair is already soaked. So wet your hair first. You can also apply a leave-in or a conditioner and help create a barrier to the chlorine as well. As soon as you get out of the pool, wash your hair with shampoo as soon as possible. Always condition your hair after swimming so that you replace and rebalance that moisture. And you can find swimmers' shampoos that will help with regular maintenance of removing the chlorine. There are many of them out there, so just find one that works for you and use that on the regular if you swim regularly. Number 6 is something that I recommend to everyone, even if you don't have silver hair, and that is a shower filter for your shower. If you have soft water or you have a whole house water filter, you don't need a shower filter on your shower. But if you aren't lucky enough to have those things, you do need a shower filter to help with city water, well water, hard water, and the buildup that comes from the water in the shower. My 7th and final tip is on product selection. You want to select products that are white in color, slightly off-white in color, or clear. If the product is an intense color, I wouldn't use it at all. When it comes to shampoo, this rule is a little less rigid because you're using a shampoo that is soap, and that surfactant will rinse away from your hair. It's not staying on your hair. So key thing is the products that stay on your hair, like conditioners, leave-ins, and styling products, you definitely want those to be on the white or clear side. And you want to be mindful of the oils that are in those products. You specifically want to avoid hemp, you want to avoid olive oil, and you want to avoid avocado oil. If the product is white, it is possible that those oils are colorless, which means they've had the color removed from them, and then they're safe. So the caveat is if the product is still white and it has avocado or olive oil in it, don't worry about it. But if the product is similar to the color of those oils and it being, slightly yellow or green, avoid it. On the same token of, colors of oils, you want to avoid dyes in the products unless you're using a purple pigmented shampoo. You want to watch for all of your products to make sure that they don't have red, yellow, or orange dyes in them. If it has red and blue, obviously that's being used to create that purple effect. But if it's red, orange, and yellow alone, definitely avoid those in your products. I have seen them in heat protectants. So take a moment, look at the ingredients list, and make sure that there's no added dyes. The next ingredient that I try to pay attention to is fragrances. I do that because of the scent, but I also understand that fragrance can stain your hair, especially if it's in high concentration in your products. So if the fragrance is like the 4th or 5th ingredient on the ingredients list, it's possible it could cause some staining on your hair. Fragrances are made out of natural oils, and synthetic ingredients are added to synthetic fragrances to preserve them, and natural ingredients do not have anything synthetic added to them. So they can actually, natural oils can actually be more staining because they're more concentrated. Oils, something like orange oil would be staining. You just want to be careful. Again, look at the product. If it's white, if it's clear, it's probably safe. But if you're noticing some sort of weird staining and you can't figure it out, it could be fragrances. So you might consider going fragrance free and see if that helps. The next thing to be careful with products is silicones. You want to be careful that silicones aren't in everything you use. So you don't want to have silicones build up. What I think actually happens with silicones is not that they're actually yellow, but when you add heat to them, which this is kind of a weird thing, silicones can protect your hair from heat. But I think over time, if you're building it up and building it up and building it up, you can actually burn the silicone and turn it a slight yellow color. Think of it similar to, a piece of plastic sitting out in the sun that goes from a clear to a funky, weird yellow tint. That's kind of what would happen with a silicone on your hair. I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope that these tips help you keep your silvers their best. If you found this helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. If you missed the other 2 videos, they are below in the description box. And until next time, shine on.